I just truly believe that fitness is the gateway drug to self-development. It does not solve all the problems, but it helps alleviate a lot of it. This ambassador, she goes, I got it. I mean, what do you mean you got it? I'll take care of the kids. She goes to this member's house.
What?
Tells her to come to the gym so she can work out for 45 minutes while she stayed and babysat the two kids. That's crazy.
I would be blown away by the offer. I'd be like, you're not going to my house.
Yeah.
So you know.
I actually hand wrote over 300 Christmas cards myself for the members.
How'd your hand feel by 80?
I mean, you just got to do what you got to do, Mike.
Yeah. Welcome back to another episode of the Behind Gym Doors podcast, formerly known as the GSD Show. And I'm super excited for today. We have a guest, Tai from F45 in New York. I've known Tai now since it's going to be a year. I feel like it was July. Is that right?
Yeah, just around July 2024.
Just around July. And, you know, I've gotten to work with a lot of F45s and very, very few of them have I met are doing revenue numbers like you. You're doing over 100K and you went from 0 to 100K because you took over this. You started the business from scratch, right?
Yep.
Doing 100,000 a month, which is great. But you have so many things that you do really, really well. But one of the things that I really wanted to talk about today was your concept of unreasonable hospitality and the way that you really just focus in on the experience. And I remember, I think it was like 2 weeks ago or a week ago, somebody posted in the Loud Rumor portal, the channel 360 that we have.
Right.
And somebody said like, hey, how can we do this or that, whatever it was. And in your response, which was like a good paragraph, was really helping them understand it all comes down to the product and member experience. And that's really what it comes down to. And so I agree with that, by the way. And so we're going to talk a lot about that today. How's that?
Yeah, perfect.
Good.
Yeah,
Well, welcome to the Behind Gym Doors podcast.
I appreciate you having me on, Mike.
You didn't even know it was a Behind Gym Doors
I
podcast
didn't until like 30 seconds ago. I didn't.
Yeah. So we got the rebrand. So for all of you that used to be fans of the GSD show, it's the same show, different name. That's all it is. Okay. So 0 to 100. So obviously we know where you're at now. You're at 100. When you got this business, started it from scratch, what made you start an F45 in the first place? Because I want to know the beginning, and then we're going to fill it in with the middle of like, how do we shoot this thing up to the moon? So why did you start this?
So I'll give you the short version because the long version is very, very long.
Okay.
I was actually never in the fitness industry for the huge part of my life.
Okay.
A self-professed tech geek ever since I was a little boy. I think from 12 to 13, I was very into computers. I was very into writing code and technology.
Okay.
So I've been going to school and had a really successful corporate career up until I was about 30 years old doing that. My nickname, fun fact, I never shared this with you yet. My nickname growing up was actually Fat Boy.
Okay.
So everyone called me that. I was very big. At my very heaviest, I was around 275 pounds.
Wow.
Not the jacked version of 275, the Pillsbury Doughboy version of 275.
For reference, for those listening, how much do you weigh now?
I'm about 185 now.
Wow. So 90 pounds.
Yeah. At the height of my weight loss journey, I had lost over 100 pounds.
Yeah. Well, you probably still lost 100 pounds of fat because I'm assuming you added muscle with all that training too, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. So go on.
So part of my journey was just self-development, wanting to better myself, and frankly, just vanity, right? I wanted to look better. Yeah. I was just sick and tired of not feeling good about myself. Mm-hmm. And then the last straw was I wanted to propose to my then girlfriend, now wife. I set my mother-in-law down, and I asked her for permission, and she politely told me no. She said, I'm afraid of letting you take care of my daughter because you might not be around for her. So I just sat there at that table. I still remember like it was yesterday. It's a round marble table. It was very green. The chairs were very fancy. I was very upset. So from that point, exactly in that moment, I promised myself that I would never let anyone do that to me ever again. So from that point on, I started to just go down this rabbit hole. Like, how do I get myself more physically fit? How do I become more active? How do I do all the things that would change me into the person that this woman would be accepting of, right? So that started a whole journey for me, just really digging into fitness, into nutrition. So I'm just quite obsessive nature.
Yeah.
So once I'm in it, right? So I spent like probably the next 10 years just really diving in and learning everything about the business. And so to answer your question, that's ultimately how I started. And specifically at 45 is because my brother, who lived in LA at the time, actually was a member in one of F45's headquarters original members. Okay. So he had told me many things about the brand, and he knew I was going on my journey, and he was like, hey, I think you would really like this. Like, the workout is exactly what you would do. You kind of already like telling me like the same things you're doing by yourself. Why don't you check this thing out? So at that time, where I am on Long Island, New York, there was only one studio that was.
How long ago was this?
It was 7 years ago.
Okay. So that's, what is that, 2018?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I just cold called the owner of that studio. Said, hey, I'm Tai. I would love to learn more about the brand. I heard so many good things about it. Do you mind if I just spend a little bit of time and buy you some coffee and some lunch? So I met up with him. His name is Mark. I'm like one of the best F45 buds that I have.
Yeah.
He just showed me the ropes, and he told me about the brand. And then like literally 6 months later, I was at headquarters figuring out what I was going to do for the rest of my life.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So you were a tech guy. You were overweight, 90 pounds off.
Yeah.
How, I'm assuming in the very beginning you did it for certain reasons, like, to get the respect of your mother-in-law,
Yeah.
How do you feel about it now? Is it more for you? Is it shifted over? Like, has the purpose shifted a lot?
Yeah.
Because you're still very fit, dude. You're fit. I don't think anybody would believe easily that you were at 275.
Yeah. So great question. Like I've gone through many iterations of this for myself. So I do feel like 100% I'm maybe the fuel in the beginning was for others, but now it's just purely for myself. Like I want to do this because I know the impact it has and it has on me. And now I've seen me transfer that over to the members that I help on a daily basis and my team as well. So I just think, and I always tell people this too, I just truly believe that fitness is the gateway drug to self-development. It does not solve all the problems, but it helps alleviate a lot of it, right?
Yeah.
And so that being able to be a part of this is like super impactful for me. And so that's pretty much my purpose at this point.
Love it. Now, before we dive into, how you operate the business so successfully, I do want to ask, you got some tattoos there. Yeah. I know you and I had dinner a few months back or a month ago, whenever it was, or maybe it was a few months back already. Time's going by quickly. Yeah. It's around Stoicism, which I'm I'm a student of as well.
Yeah.
But what do you have on there?
So I have two. I'm a huge Ryan Holiday fan. So he's written many books about Stoicism. And so my left arm is one of his books. It's The Obstacle is the Way. And on my right arm is one of the famous quotes of Stoicism is Memento Mori. So just essentially means that remember you will die.
Yeah.
Translated in my own brain, that means just, this is not the official translation. This is my Thai's translation. Yeah. Stop giving a shit so much about what other people think and just do what you think and is right, because you won't matter in a very short amount of time anyway.
100%. It's funny. I think that's the cool thing about philosophy is that everyone has their own take on the same things. Yeah. You're right. I see that angle, but I've always seen that as something very different. And I don't think it's different. I think it's all meaningful, right? Like I also now see your definition, and I appreciate it. I'm going to adopt that too. The one I've always seen is everything that currently exists may not always currently exist, not just because it might die, but because it might change. The person that's in your life, the people that are in your life, the things that are happening, your health, your working legs or whatever, like these things are here, but eventually like everything will die, whether it's a person, whether it's an event, whether it's a business, whether it's a body part. Like at some point things will die. And when you can appreciate like that you have it right now, it's different. Yeah. I think about death quite a bit.
Yeah.
My wife used to, I don't know if she still thinks it, but she used to be like, that's morbid or like whatever. But I don't think about death in the morbid way. I thought about everyone close to me dying, like everyone. I still think about it quite a bit, but it changes it. Like now when I see my kids, I look at my kids through the lens of like, oh, wow, you're like you're here. This is amazing, right? Because I've thought of you the other way. I have the same thing with my wife, right? So to me, it enhances my level of gratitude by like an unmatchable amount. So that's what it's always meant to me. But now I have a second definition now.
Yeah. I mean, so I do align with what you're saying as well. Is one of my mental hacks for myself when I am getting maybe a little angry or outside of myself at a particular family member or even just a close colleague, is to reframe it in the exact way you just mentioned. That, like, if I only had a few more moments with this individual,
Is this how I'd spend it?
like, do I even care about? Like, and most of the time, 99.99999% of the time, it's like, nah, it's fine.
Yeah,
It's
not
fine.
even. Yeah, absolutely. I love it, man. I love that. And then that's Marcus Aurelius on the left, right? Is that that's Mark? Yeah,
So yeah, I like this one too.
my favorite guy. It's my favorite Stoic. Okay, so let's dive in. You have here on notes, which I didn't know what it was at first. I felt ignorant because I'm like, I really enjoy KPIs, which for everybody watching, listening, KPIs, key performance indicators, are metrics that you use to measure your business.
Yeah.
I teach KPIs. I love KPIs. And I saw RAK budget 250, and I'm like, oh man, I don't know that one. What is RAK budget? And I'm like racking through my brain. I'm like, okay, return. No, that doesn't make sense. Okay. And then you told me it was what?
It's a random act of kindness.
Yeah, which is a tie.
It's a very random made up acronym. Yes, correct.
Made me feel a lot better about myself. So perfect. Thank you. So random act of kindness budget, $250. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, so I definitely borrowed this from somebody else. I've learned from a lot of the best hospitality brands. I've read a few books on the same topic, but my main takeaway from all the learnings I've made is, well, twofold. The first thing is to be able to serve the people that I want to serve. Your product needs to be excellent. So that's sort of like table stakes. Like, if your product is horrible, it doesn't matter. Everything I'm about to say isn't going to help.
Sure.
So let's just go with that assumption.
Yeah.
But even more than that, most excellent entrepreneurs nowadays, they deliver a good to excellent product. So what is going to set you apart is all the intangibles, soft skills, so to speak, right? So I read this book called Unreasonable Hospitality by Will Guidara. So he was co-owner of a really famous restaurant in New York City called 11 Madison Park. So that restaurant had worked its way up to being the #1 restaurant in the entire world. So, and I had the opportunity to actually go there with my wife on a special occasion, and they are everything they claim to be. It was one of the most perfect experiences I ever had. But funny enough, I don't remember any of the food I ate that night. None of it.
What do you remember?
I remember all the experiences they delivered for me and my wife throughout the 3-hour interaction that we had. And those are things I will never forget.
Like what? Like what stands out?
So many, but they are very intentional in curating. Even before you walk into the door, they had already known everything about why we were there, who we were, what we were celebrating, if there were any special considerations that I would wanted to have because I wanted to surprise my wife. So they had already taken care of all of that.
When you say take care of it, what does that mean?
I mentioned that specifically we wanted some place that was not right in the middle. We wanted some privacy to be able to chat. So when we walked in, I didn't actually expect that to have happened. I just put it in as a throwaway.
Preference.
Yeah. We got in and they sat us at the far corner of the restaurant. So it's hard for me to explain. It is it's one of the most grand facilities I've ever walked into. Floor to, ceiling, glass. the view of Madison Park. So an awesome view. But they tucked this into the little corner. Most people would be like, that's not. But for me, it was like, oh, they listened.
Yeah, you heard it. You knew what it was.
Yeah. So even that, right off the bat, I was like, all right, cool. We're off to a good start.
Yeah.
And then at most fancy 3-star Michelin restaurants, they sort of like look down on you if you don't order wine or champagne off the bat. So I already told them ahead of that too. Like my wife she doesn't want to be bothered with that stuff, which is like sometimes people might go, well, that's like, you're at a 3-star restaurant, you should just go, right?
Right.
But I made sure I put that down as like, hey, I just want to know like if it's okay that we don't get presented with the wine menu right away. We'll probably make that selection, but just if that's okay, I would love that. They never showed us the wine menu.
Really?
Nope.
Which is a big upsell for most of these restaurants.
Yeah. I mean, we ended up spending more money than we would have otherwise.
Sure.
But the fact that they respected that weird request meant a lot, right?
Now, when they say the product is the best marketing, you're talking about it on a podcast right now. You're like literally marketing this restaurant to a podcast right now.
Exactly. Yeah. So, and so many other events throughout the night too, and they ended at the evening. And so I'm a big believer in, I'm sure you know this concept called the peak end bias. Yeah. Where you want to have a really high elevated event, but you also want to end the interaction with some sort of a high note as well.
Did you get that from Setting the Table?
Yeah.
Yeah, I read that book, yeah.
So they definitely, like, they were trained. Like, this was not a mistake.
Yeah.
They brought out what they typically have is just like a dessert followed by another dessert, some fancy French name that I cannot pronounce right now.
Yeah.
But in that last dessert thing, they just slipped a note right underneath the last thing saying, like, my wife's name's Wendy. So, Wendy, I hope you had a great evening celebrating a awesome anniversary with your husband. We would love to have you back here for another celebration soon. Just little small thing.
Another celebration. So now triggering celebration, next time there's a celebration, you think of this place.
Yeah.
They created an anchor.
Yeah. So just like these small things, because I've been studying this for a little bit. I was just so happy. I was just smiling at the end of it. Even though I was looking at the bill, I was like, oh.
Yeah. The bill changes for a second, doesn't it?
Right.
Okay.
But even that, they knew that might be a friction point for some people. Mm-hmm. But even then, that little note just softened it just enough.
Sure.
So they had like a little soft landing.
Right.
So it was just like one of the most great experiences I've had in the restaurant.
Wow. That's amazing. Okay. Yeah. So now you've got this understanding. You felt it as a consumer. How did you bring that into your gym?
Yeah. So the first thing I started to do is, and this is what I train the team on now as well, is I want you to simply walk in the shoe of the customer that you most want to serve.
Okay.
And one of the things I stole from you is, and then you taught us this in probably many moons ago, in terms of assuming you only have one client left, you only have one customer. Mm-hmm. How would you treat that person?
Yeah.
So I took a spin on that, and it's the same exact thing, but I want you to go into the mindset and into the shoes of this particular client that you would love to serve for the rest of your life. And I want you to walk through every single step of that journey from before they even know what F45 Herrick's is to the day they actually move, scale out, or whatever the case may be, and they exit the business.
Yeah.
So as many steps and as many milestones as possible, and I want you to draw that out. And then at every single point of that journey, I want you to find potential friction points or even areas that you know might cause issues for the customer. And I want you to do something about it at that point. Yeah. So just find markers for that. So that's the first thing I would do. And the first thing we have done is exactly that.
Really quick on that too, because I know what you're talking about. It's what I love about principles is that it doesn't have to be like exactly any certain way. The idea is the same, but for everyone, because this is a valuable lesson that I gained from somebody, and it was the idea of if from now on, like what would you do if from now on you could only get future customers from existing customers? That's it. How would you treat your existing customers? You couldn't run ads, you couldn't do SEO, you couldn't cold call, you couldn't do anything else. What if you could the only way you could ever get another customer again was by a referral from an existing customer? How would that change the product and the interactions between you and the customers?
Right. Yeah.
That was the lesson. But at the same time, it's the same, right? If you start with one customer, if you only have one, how would you treat that customer? It's the same. But the principle is looking at it through the lens of like, I start here, not out there.
Yeah.
Right? Not with like everyone focused on sales. If you call a place, press 1 for sales, press 2 for customer support, right? and you ever have this thing where you call to get some help as a customer and you can get a hold of them, so you call again pretending to be a sale? You ever do that?
Yeah.
You get on the phone right away.
That's what people smash the 0 button on.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So I wanted to do that because I think it's a good exercise for a lot of people. So okay, go ahead.
So once we map out that journey, it's simply to figure out specific points. Once you map out friction points, to also then do the same exact exercise, but now we're gonna aim to find specific highlights.
Okay.
Areas where people might feel joy, elation, whatever positive emotion that might be elicited from our business. I want all of that marked also.
Okay. I love that. Now, once it's marked, what do you do with it?
Yeah. So now we got a whole bunch of data points that we can do something with.
Okay.
First things, and I did this just in the beginning before any budget or any manpower. I would just do this myself, right? I would just find opportunities to either hone in on the negatives or accentuate the positives.
Okay.
Now that having many iterations of this, I actually would recommend honing on the positives first, because we can be average in some areas, but if we're super high level in some other areas, I find that, at least from my experience, that our members tend to remember the higher end actions. So that I would look for positives, right? So what that looks like is, I have some examples I can share that we've done before. So in New York, sometimes it snows in the winter.
Sometimes.
So we start classes quite early in the morning. The earliest class we have is 5 in the morning.
Okay.
So on snowy days, typically is the most difficult time for people to get to the gym and then back home as well. So there's just several occasions where people would park in our studio and it would start to snow. And if it snows heavy enough, they will have to do stuff before they would be able to leave, right? After class ended. So myself or a studio manager of mine, we would just go 10, 15 minutes before the end of class, and we'll simply just go clean up all the cars of snow, and we'll shovel around the car.
Wow.
So they could leave without having to think about it. We never even would tell them.
Wow.
So
what response did you get from that?
I had some of the weirdest things, Mike, because these people will run back in and just give me a hug.
Because they knew what was waiting for them. In their workout, they're thinking like, oh, I still got to go out there and I got to.
Yeah. They still talk to me. Some of my oldest members still come back and tell me about those moments. So similarly to how I was talking about 11 Madison Park, they would do that back to me.
And somewhere they said that. Somewhere they're like, you don't understand. These guys, like when I went to my car, they wiped the snow away so that I can just drive away without having to do it myself. Yeah. That story has been retold.
100%.
Yeah.
Dude,
that's amazing.
Yeah, so that would be one example. Another example would just be, and this was very recent too. I'll talk about how to systemize this. So now I don't do this myself anymore. The team does this. I had a trainer, a coach over here, a member that, they had been running late. They hadn't been able to eat breakfast. And so they were pretty hungry. So he heard this. There's a deli about half a plaza away from us. He simply went in the middle of class and ordered 25 sandwiches that he knew that member liked. just from conversation.
25.
Yeah, so 25 people in the class. So for context,
Okay.
yeah.
I
So
was like, how hungry was this guy? How big is he? Okay.
So he took the initiative to go and like do this, right? Well, I didn't know this at the time. I was told by my manager afterwards. He didn't use the budget. He spent his own money buying these sandwiches for the entire class. So,
wow.
He never shared too. He just did it, right?
Yeah.
And what's even more amazing, here it is, Mike. My studio manager learned of this, and she was like, no, you can't do this. And then she went and she paid the bill on his behalf.
She did, not the company.
No, she did.
Wow.
They never took money. So it didn't even come out of the random act of kindness budget at all.
Wow. So
you just imagine walking, like about to walk out of class, right? You just finished a 45-minute workout. And then this coach, just a whole platter of ham and cheese sandwiches for everyone to grab on the way out.
Wow.
That's just super special to me. Like,
how do you get there, right? Yeah. Like, I mean, I feel like with my team, you know, I know last GST Con we had Jana, and you knew what happened. I don't know if you knew what happened.
No,
you did know,
but you had started to tell me like you're focusing a lot more on this area as
100%, which is why I really like this. Jana, I couldn't believe what had happened. She they lost her wheelchair. Somebody stole her wheelchair from the airport. Think of what happened?
What?
She came out of the bathroom, her wheelchair was gone. And so she had to use like the walker that she also had. So she had a walker.
Yeah.
And she still came to the event, and then she had to give the walker back because the walker that she was using was her mom's walker, and she needed to give it to her mom who lived in Arizona.
Yeah.
Or no, St. Louis, which is where we were. So like I guess her mom was there. And so she was like, yes, I don't know what I'm going to do. And so Neil and Marjan actually got in the van, and they went over and they went to Walmart and they bought a walker for her, and they bought the balls and all that stuff. And and that was just like an instant thought, which is great. I know for us what we had to do to get there, but I want to hear like your experience. Like what did you do to get your team to be like, I got to go buy sandwiches, or he's not buying those sandwiches. You know, that's great that he did it, but I'm the manager, right? So what work was involved for that?
So candidly, it was a lot of work, a lot of time. But I started to build this into our onboarding process. So every single staff that works for me at this point is onboarded with a very simple mission statement and the usual onboarding documents that you would have at most jobs.
Right.
But the first two things that they do is they're shown a YouTube link of the TED Talk by Will Guidara speaking about unreasonable hospitality. And I'll share a quick little snippet about the video, but I recommend everyone watch if you want to learn.
I've never seen it. I want to see it.
So he talks about, at his restaurant, Levin Madison Park, about how he overheard a well-traveled couple who had eaten at all the main restaurants in the city, but they were complaining about their inability to try a New York City hot dog from the hot dog cart. So it's like,
why were they unable to do that?
It's like a bucket list item they've always had, right?
Okay.
I don't get it from being from New York, but I guess they want to really try.
Same here.
Yeah.
I've had them though.
So he overheard this. So he had been working on this concept as well. A light bulb went off, he said. He ran out to the nearest hot dog cart. He grabbed one back, right? Now, the hard part was, now these are Michelin star chefs. So they've trained their entire lives to serve food, to look fancy.
Right.
Now this general manager of a restaurant is telling the head chef, like, hey, I need you to serve this hot dog. Long story short, they finally got this to the table, and this couple freaked out. They like lost their minds. Meanwhile, they were eating $1,000+ meals with the finest wine, champagne in the grandest room. All they were talking about is how amazing this hot dog was. That's it.
It's also so unexpected, right?
Yeah. So to hone in on that point, the unexpectedness is exactly the reason and the way that you approach and that I approach this at this point. It has to be something that person that you're giving the thing to or the gift to does not originally expect or would not necessarily expect from that context of interaction. Right. Me giving good customer service to my members, that's expected.
Yeah. It's required.
Yes.
It's required.
So that is not going to elicit any Google reviews.
No. Now, you know what's interesting? So I talk a lot about that when it comes to like people using selling points as standards. So imagine you go into like a sandwich shop and they go, yeah, you should eat here. Why should I eat here? Well, we have a very short line. You're not going to be in line very long. And also the sandwiches are pretty good. The ingredients are healthy. And when you pay, it's going to be reasonably priced. And then when you sit down at the table, they're going to be clean. You go, yeah, but if any of those things were not done, I would complain.
100%.
So nothing here was a selling point. It was a complete standard. But however, you get in line and then they go, and here you get to pick a cookie of your choice. And they got like this wonderful bakery option. You're like, wait, for free? Yep, you get to pick one. Whoa. Now the story is, and they give you a free cookie. Not the sandwiches are good. You know, isn't it crazy how that works? So I love that you guys have that too. You mentioned Google reviews, and I got to mention this. When we were off camera, before we started, he said RAK budget, and I pride myself in understanding KPIs pretty well. So I'm like, RAK, what the heck does RAK stand for? I was embarrassed, but I asked you anyway. I'm like, what is this? You're like, oh, it's reasonable acts of kindness. I'm like, okay, well that makes sense. It's not really a normal KPI. And then I look again and I see Google reviews. You just gave me some notes here. Google reviews. And then it looks like a complete typo, like because AFAIK, all lowercase. And I go, is this a typo or is this another acronym? And you go, oh, as far as I know. And I go, as far as you know, oh, so it is? It's typo? And you go, no, as far as I know. And I think the K in no messed me up, right? It's not phonetic, but whatever. So anyway, so Google reviews, you said, as far as I know, you're the most highly reviewed at 45 in the network, as you've got almost 700 5-star reviews.
Correct.
And that has become, by the way, that's going to become more and more important right now as ChatGPT and Perplexity and all these AI tools are becoming the go-to spot for people searching for a solution, because this is the number one signal. So curious, how do you get to 700? And that's a good question for you, because if nobody's really gotten to that high, or as far as you know, nobody's gotten that high, that means you're doing something that you worked hard on. So how do you get there?
Yeah, so just building up on what we've already talked about. First is just having a good product, right? And then next is just doing above and beyond to make sure people want to talk about you. Yeah. In addition, just to like have a good, in addition to just having a good workout, you want some talking points for them.
Sure.
And then next, to layer back on the reviews, really is just to create opportunities and having the team be aware how important it is for the business and even for the members themselves and the community, right? Because without these reviews, we would not be as successful as we are currently, because not as many people would know about us.
Oh, I don't doubt that.
So, and again, just part of the process is really to do the thing first, but having the team carry on and making sure that they know how important it is, so they're able to execute as well. And it's funny enough you ask, because I have had a lot of gym owners ask, like, "Hey, like, Tai, like, what's your secret?" Right?
Yeah, 700 is a lot.
So I would always just be telling. I used to always just tell people, I just ask.
Yeah.
Right. I may have even told you this a couple of times.
You did tell me that once, and I was like, I think you simplified your complex thing that you're actually doing.
So So in the recent conversation I had with my wife, she actually just, I mean, I don't know why I didn't think about this, but there is a lot of little parts behind the I just ask that maybe I've just taken for granted at this point. But it's every single step of that process. It's delivering a good product. But once people do feel like they have results, then I ask.
Yeah.
When we deliver some sort of unexpected surprise and an emotion is elicited, positive or negative, then we ask. And in specific parts, when we have team-wide challenges where we're like, hey, I would go to my coaches and go, hey, I would love for us to, be able to serve the community better. It would help a lot if we had, like, say, 100 more reviews by this time next month. Let's make it a cool little challenge. We'll have a whiteboard. We'll even have, like, a prize at the end, right?
Yeah.
And whoever does the best. And we'll lay out specifics. Like, we don't want just, like, empty reviews. We want reviews that actually are meaningful to the person giving it. So they'll give, like, the reason why they wanted to give, like, the pain points they were dealing with, why we helped, who helped them.
So not just like putting 5-star, put awesome gym. Yeah,
exactly. So, like, meaningful things that they actually, someone looking in from the outside, like, hey, that's kind of my problem too. Like, I need some accountability. Hey, I need some motivation. I need coaches who actually know what they're doing.
Do you run ads right now too, or no?
Yeah.
You know what might work really well, since you're so good at the asking? If you ask do you have an ad agency running it for you, or if you were to ask the ad agency, hey, can you send me the post ID for everybody watching and listening? Is a good one too. If you say, send me the post ID for the ad, it picks something that's evergreen, meaning don't do, like, if it's like a Christmas in June, like, that's not going to work. Do something that will work, like it's a default for when there's nothing in season, right? So, like, send me the post ID. Then what you do is you tell your members, hey, it would be really meaningful to us if you can just post a review on this video. It's one of our ads. We feel like anybody that sees the ad might be like, oh, it's any other gym. But if they saw 40, 50 comments from our members that are really excited about it, maybe they think it's more than just a gym. And what that does, though, is when you're creating comments on the post, and then you can comment on the comment, right? Thanking them and all that.
Yeah.
You've now doubled the engagement. And the engagement is probably even more than double, because how many comments would you have gotten before? So now what happens is the social signals that Facebook's using to determine whether or not this is engaging content is shooting through the roof. And so now what happens is your cost per impression goes way down, which means your cost per lead goes down, which means your cost per acquisition goes down. But what's also happening that's really cool is that, think about the comments. They're not just boring, meaningful comments. If I'm an onlooker and I go, what's this gym? And I look, what is everyone saying? Oh, this gym is amazing. I've been going here for years. Oh, these guys are great. I love these guys. I would never go anywhere else. Think about the difference in the credibility behind that ad. It's more than an ad now, and it's being seen more.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So if you're good at getting reviews, which clearly you are, I don't know if you need much more than 700. I'm sure in your brain now you're like, we're going to get 1,000, right? It's happening, right? So you probably don't need more than 700, but obviously you want consistency. That's what you do want. I think now if you put some of that energy into having them comment on your ads, you probably get a lot more bang for your buck on the paid ads.
That's cool. Yeah. Absolutely.
We did it. We went when we had done it. Our average cost per lead was $19, and we got it down to it was like 75 cents.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, no, it's like a massive drop because you're getting both things, right? The signal and the credibility.
Okay, cool.
Okay. You talked about your referrals being a main source of your lead gen. You said right now 40 to 45% of your leads come from referrals.
Yeah.
How many leads a month are you getting on average?
Around 150.
Okay, so you're talking like 70. So if your leads are coming from referrals.
Anywhere from 60 to about 75.
Now, obviously, it all starts from the product and the customer experience.
Yeah.
But how do you initiate that? Are you initiating it? Is it reactive, like they just come to you with referrals, or have you created a process?
It's very much a proactive process. Yeah.
So what's the process?
So we do a point of sale referral ask. We've consistently gotten a little bit better. Now we're averaging about like 2 per point of sale. Where before Loud Rumor, we were at 0.
Okay.
Well, actually, we didn't even have a point of sale referrals thing before Loud Rumor. So that's helped a lot. We actually do run specific referral campaigns on 2 times per year. So that's where we get the spike. But even on a regular month-to-month basis, we have a target of how many referrals. So the team knows, say, hey, this month we're aiming to get like 60.
Okay. So you have specific targets for the month for the team.
So then they would know, like, hey, this is out of the average of how much we would need to get. We would probably need to ask, say, like 10 times per day.
Yeah.
So we'll just make sure we ask 10 times.
Yeah.
And then we just do that every single day.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to go through some of the things here that you have listed as your customer experience, because, again, that's the whole idea. It's unreasonable hospitality.
Yeah.
You have stuff on here like cancellation concierge service, cold scented towels, birthday cake and celebration. let's talk about some of these. So
Yeah.
cancellation concierge service.
Yeah.
I feel
Actually, I
like-
put that first for a reason.
Okay.
Because I do know, I shouldn't say many. I should take that back. I do know some service-based businesses that do take the intention to do this while people are customers, but they never do it post.
Yeah.
So I was very intentional in doing that as the first part. So actually my first act when we started implementing this was the cancellation concierge service. So again, I stepped into the shoe of a gym person that like I was moving away. Now I have 2 kids and now I'm moving to the suburbs. So I'm canceling my current gym membership. How would I want that gym to treat me when I was leaving? I'm like, maybe find me a new gym or maybe refer me to some of your network because you must know people, right? You're a gym owner. Maybe refer me to a place that would, because you already know what I need. You've already been my trainer for so long. So I just simply flipped that and went like, cool, I'll do that. So whenever someone submitted a cancellation form, the first question I would ask is, so sorry to see you go. What is the main reason why you're choosing to leave at this point? So there's 6 reasons.
What are the 6? Do you know?
You're moving, money, schedule, medical, you don't want to share. And then the last one was, I hate F45, I'm doing something else. I literally write that.
Yeah.
As a joke so that
Yeah.
so it's not as serious. So if the answer is anywhere in the remote vicinity that I can help with, so moving is definitely one of them. If you put moving, Mike, as the reason for cancellation, my next message to you would be like, hey, where are you moving to, Mike? And then I would just go scour the gyms nearby because I mean I could use Google.
Yeah.
But I would find a gym that was highly reputable. I would reach out to the owner and be like, hey, I got a member, Mike. He's been a really good member with us for like 2 years. He's going to move to your neck of the woods. Like, would you want a new client?
Wow. So for them, and now it's a referral for them, they're going to probably treat them a little differently too. And they know it's a hot lead. It's a great lead.
Yeah.
And then what do you do with the member? What do you tell them?
I would just tell them, hey, I reached out to X, Y, and Z gym in the area that you're moving to. I think it's like a 3-minute drive where you're going to be. I really think you should give them a shot. They're offering this whatever introductory trial. Let me know how you do. The owner's name is Tim. Tim is going to take care of you.
What kind of response are you getting from that?
I've had so many people come back after canceling. Yeah.
Because their last memory. So you called it, I remember it as the peak end state. Is that what you called it? The peak end?
Peak end bias.
Peak end bias. Okay, so I had the peak end, maybe it is bias.
Yeah.
But the idea is I'm always going to remember the best part and I'm going to remember the last part.
Yeah.
So if like a movie, you're going to remember the best part of the movie, Rocky training, and you're going to remember the last part, Adrian, right? Like you're going to remember those 2 parts.
Yeah.
And in this case, how they left, that's the last thing they remember. That's the last piece of story, right? So that's why we have, what do you call it? The grand finale at the fireworks, the last song at the concert, right? Like you know that it's a
That's
big
what Disney
part.
does, the firework at the end.
Yep, they do. They have the peak end, right?
Yeah.
They have the parade, and then they have the fireworks at the end. Very cool. Okay, so I love the cancellation concierge service. Actually, I will steal that, so you know. Cold scented towels. By the way, nobody cancel. But just saying, if you did cancel, I'll take really good care of you. But don't cancel. Okay, cold scented towels.
I sold this I borrowed this from Equinox. So they have oil scented towels in all their fridges and all the gyms. I was like, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. I should do it.
Yeah.
So I just started doing it. And then now it's a talking point for members. So when they come and they've shared on multiple occasions that one of the main reasons why they come is because of the towel at the end of class.
As silly as it is.
Yeah.
It's crazy because like what you said about the restaurant experience that you had, your goal is just create these intangible moments as anchors and triggers, right? Where it's not necessarily about the workout, it's not about the fitness, it's not about the training and all that. It's about the experience, everything around it.
Yeah, because ultimately we know being in the fitness industry, that utilization is the best precursor to success or failure.
Right.
We're simply aiming to keep them as consistent for as long as possible. So if I have to make sure that you're coming by adding on additional things, then you'll just continue coming.
Yeah.
If you keep coming, you'll see results, and then you associate that good result with me.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
It's a win-win on both sides.
Yeah. And the work, like you said, the workout's table stakes, right? It's supposed to be good.
Yeah.
So they're never going to judge you by the workout. I mean, not if they do, that's because there's not enough other stuff in place. And also, even though there's a lot of them that aren't, but there's a lot of great workouts out there.
Yes.
And so if that's your separator, we're in trouble. You also have birthday cake and celebration.
So every single birthday, the person gets a celebration. Like literally, we sing a song to them.
You have a cake?
Yeah.
Is it a big cake, like a classroom-sized cake?
No,
okay.
It's small one. Yeah. We did start with the ridiculous.
I'm assuming, yeah. Well, because you have how many members?
I have over 400 now.
Yeah. Have you ever watched Seinfeld?
Yeah.
You ever see that episode where like Elaine works at a company and she's got like hundreds of employees there and she's like getting fat. She's like gaining weight.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm getting fat because of this stupid office.
Yeah.
Every day there's a birthday or a going away party.
Yeah.
And every day there's like 2 or 3 of those.
Yeah. In the beginning, it was just too much. So we've shrunk it down over time. But every single member who has a birthday who comes to class, they know to expect the cake.
And now, you have the candle and all that?
And we have a sign, we have a party thing. It's like it's an entire thing.
That's pretty cool.
And so they now expect it, right? So now we have to now change that a little to still do the thing, but to make sure that we're throwing a little bit more flair into it. So now we're turning it into like almost a night scene, a nightclub scene.
What do you have, fireworks?
We have like, we kill the lights and then we play like DJ music. So it's like, it's not my, so that wasn't like, I wouldn't be anything I thought of, which is the beauty of all of this.
Yeah.
My team thought of this.
That's cool.
And so then that's what they do now.
That's awesome. I like that idea a lot. Quick question, because now to me it goes, oh, I'm going in on my birthday now. Like I'm for sure going in on my birthday.
And people do say that.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm
like
going to go.
Normally they wouldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now, do you celebrate it if it's like the day before their birthday or the day after, or it's got to be on the birthday?
It's got to be on your,
Good. That saves you some cake costs. All right. I got the snow thing, emergency childcare. We got a couple more here. Emergency childcare. What is that?
I've had, and this is a byproduct of building this out across the team too. So we have ambassadors in the studio. So this particular example that I'm referring to, one of our ambassadors, she's just a great human being overall. The member was a mom that had been going through some difficulties, and she wasn't able to make class for like a couple of months already. We've been contacting her, telling her like, hey, we'll take care of the childcare stuff. If you just tell us you're going to make it, we'll take care of it. She calls last minute, like, hey, do you have any spots in like the 5:30 p.m. class? Like, I don't think so. But this ambassador, her name is Nikki. She happened to be in the studio when we were fielding the call. She goes, I got it. I mean, what do you mean you got it? It's like, I'll take care of the kids. She goes to this member's house.
What?
Tells her to come to the gym so she can work out for 45 minutes while she stayed and babysat the 2 kids. That's crazy.
It is crazy. I'll tell you right now, just so you know, I would be blown away by the offer. I'd be like, you're not going to my house.
Yeah.
So you know. But I'd be blown away. I'd be like, amazing, amazing.
Yeah.
No thanks.
Yeah.
But that's the thought is what's amazing.
So they knew each other. The context is they knew each other.
That changes things.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm thinking of like random trader Tony going, I'll watch your kids. You go.
Yeah.
Get out of here. What's your liquor cabinet?
They were friends prior. Yeah, I should have thrown that in there.
Okay. So if there's a relationship there, now I'm thinking about people I've known for years. Like I would totally Ash for my team, Katie for my team. I'd totally let them come over. Okay. Yeah. Fair.
But the fact that she was wanting to do that was just like really, really touching for me.
It was amazing. Yeah. Okay. Last thing, care packages. What's the care packages?
Just people going through events in their lives, graduation, funerals, just things that they would share with us. We'll just make a note to make sure that we're either celebrating them or consoling them, just letting them know that they matter, so to speak. So however small it might be, and you don't always have to spend money too, and that's the thing, right? It could be just as simple as handwritten notes, which you guys have done quite often as well. Those mean a lot. And I know they mean a lot to our members too. So it's just taking the time and effort to really like not feeling like they're throwaways. One thing I didn't put in there is I actually hand wrote over 300 Christmas cards myself for the members. So yeah, Christmas cards.
How'd your hand feel by 80?
I mean, you just got to do what you got to do, Mike.
Yeah. That's amazing. Did you switch to lefty at like
No, just right hand the whole time. And make sure every single card was personalized too. It was not a rinse and repeat situation.
Dude, that's amazing. You've literally, I mean, you've taken this so seriously. It's funny because as I do remember reading the book, and we've also read another book called Never Lose a Customer Again.
I have.
And it's amazing to see these things in motion. Like I feel like I'm rereading the book again, but instead of through the lens of like a hotel or a restaurant, I'm seeing it through the lens of a gym. So for everybody watching and listening, like keep in mind, Ty's doing $100,000 out of a gym where typically that model, what is it, 2,500 square feet, 3,000 square feet?
Yeah.
I mean, that model just across the board, whether it's F45 or just not, right? It doesn't matter. They're struggling to do 15,000, 18,000 a month. That's like that's normal, right? You have plenty that are doing under 10,000 and like they're doing everything. But the reason he's doing this, the reason he has 400 people is because he has a particular specialty, and this is his particular specialty. Everyone's got their own specialty. You're a specialist, and one area that you're a specialist in is this right here. You talked about the time, like the handwritten notes. I think I might have mentioned this in a power call, I'm not sure, but the handwritten notes and all these things, the reason they're so amazing is the most valuable thing that any of us has is our time. That's it. If you want to make us feel great, do something that would normally take our time, but you took the time instead. Yeah. You know, if my son were, let's say, to surprise me and actually my daughter did it today. My daughter, who's in the audience right now, she surprised me today. I was supposed to call her to help me with getting my pants and everything ready out of the dryer so I can have everything ready to pack to come. And I walk in, I forgot to call her. I felt bad that I forgot to call her because it's not her fault. And she already had done all that stuff for me. And I was like, man, thank you so much.
Yeah, that's
because
great.
It's the exchange of time. You sacrifice some of your time so that I can gain some of my own. If you want to punish someone, what do you do?
Take away.
Yeah, what do you do with a child that acts up?
Yeah,
Where do you put them? Time out.
Yeah.
What about a criminal? They do time.
Yeah.
Right? The best way to give is by giving time. The best way to punish is by taking it away. Yeah. And so you guys have just really shown how you use time and sacrifice time for the benefit of their experience. I think it's amazing. So, brother, dude, thank you so much for being on the show.
Yeah, that's awesome being here.
And I'm excited for GSDCon this weekend.
Yeah, thanks so much.
All right, so for everybody watching, for everybody listening, thank you so much. Make sure to leave a comment if you're watching on YouTube and, say what you got to say to Ty to make him feel like a winner that he is. And then also leave us a review on iTunes or Spotify if you're listening. Remember to subscribe, tell a friend, and we will see you next time.